Welcome back in the YouTube lecture series for BSc Part First. Today we are to deal with the structure of practical work allotted to BSc first year chemistry subject. Let us begin with the outline. So, in earlier classes up to 12th, practical was a part of the paper, total subject. From BSc first year onwards, the practical will be a separate section and there will be separate passing for practical section also. So, mind well, there are 4 subjects for you for the first year and there are relevant practicals. So, you have to pass separately for these subject wise practicals. As far as the syllabus is concerned, syllabus of BSc Part 1 choice based credit system syllabus is concerned, the chemistry section is divided into 3 sections. Chemistry subject is divided into 3 sections. One is physical chemistry. So, these are the experiments of physical chemistry. Study of specific reaction rate of hydrolysis of methyl acetate in presence of HCl. Determination of equivalent weight of magnesium by ediometer, determination of heat of ionization, determination of heat capacity of colorimeter, determination of heat of enthalpy of neutralization and determination of heat or enthalpy of solution of salts. So, these are from physical section of chemistry practical. Then in case of organic chemistry, of course, few more practicals are also there. There are 2 estimations which we are going to consider. Of course, there is third one also, estimation of acetamide, estimation of aspirin. Then the second section is organic qualitative analysis. So, organic qualitative analysis we are going to deal in detail in this video. So, there are 4 types of compounds: acids, phenols, basic compounds and neutrals. So, this is the list of the compounds which are to be studied and which are to be analyzed in the practical. Then in inorganic chemistry, there is volumetric analysis, there is a titrimetric analysis, there is a section of chromatography. Okay. So, these 3 sections, 3 types of experiments are there in inorganic chemistry. Actually, what is the distribution for examination? In routine practicals, you will perform these experiments and during the examination, you are expected to carry on 3 experiments, one from organic, one from inorganic, one from physical. Okay. The distribution of marks will be for journal which you represent the work, the weightage is 5 marks, for physical chemistry 15 marks, for inorganic chemistry 15 marks, for organic chemistry 15 marks. Total weightage is of 50 marks for practicals in chemistry. Okay. Then whenever we consider chemistry practicals, there are 2 types of experiments. Of course, there are some hybrid experiments also. One is called as qualitative analysis. The technique or the experiment which is based upon observations only is called as qualitative analysis. Qualitative analysis deals with the detection of nature, type, various elements, functional group present in the chemical compound. I am dealing with organic in particular. Quantitative analysis deals with the measurement and calculation. So, for organic section, there are qualitative and quantitative both type of experiment. Today, we are going to deal in detail with organic qualitative analysis. In the examination, you will be asked to write or you will asked to perform one organic spotting, that is organic qualitative analysis or organic estimation. So, what is organic qualitative analysis? Just I mentioned, qualitative analysis is related to observations only. So, the process is called as organic spotting. What is organic spotting? Listen carefully. Organic spotting is organic qualitative analysis. Qualitative analysis is related to what is present in the compound, not how much is present in the compound. So, what is the aim? To identify the given organic compound qualitatively. Okay. So, these are the steps. Identification of the organic compound involves following steps. You are provided with the PDF chart of the same experiments. During attending this lecture, you keep a notebook ready and note some additional points which we are discussing. So, in organic spotting, it is qualitative analysis. The identification of organic compound involves following steps. So, your experiment will be performing these steps. Okay. Part A, determination of physical constant. You begin with you perform the physical constant, then preliminary test, then detection of elements, then determination of functional group, consultation with literature, special test and result. So, determination of physical constant, of course, I will explain later on also. For determination of physical constant, you carry on the procedure which you studied earlier also, that how to determine a melting point or boiling point. So, taking boiling point of the liquid and melting point of the solid is the first step. Melting point and boiling point is to be reported. For boiling point, there has to be 3% correction. So, report the boiling point and add correction in the value. Okay. These are the steps again: detection of type, nature, type, preliminary test, physical constant, element, functional group and confirmation. Okay. So, organic compounds are of these 4 types. Organic compounds are of these 4 types. One is acid, other is phenol, third is base, and fourth one is none of these. It is neither acid nor phenol nor base, then it is neutral. So, our experimentation will begin with these preliminary tests. See carefully. You are going to report every test for the compound. Okay. This part after determination of physical constant is called as preliminary test, and in preliminary test there is a set of various tests and observation. So, first is observe the state of the compound. The state of the compound will be either solid or liquid. See carefully, whenever you will be going through these details, you will get a general idea related to these compounds. When your compound is solid, it will be benzoic acid, oxalic acid, cinnamic acid, means acids are solid as per our syllabus: beta-naphthol, resorcinol, paratoluidine, glucose, thiourea, M-dinitrobenzene. So, out of these, benzoic acid, oxalic acid, cinnamic acid and are acidic compounds, beta-naphthol and resorcinol are phenolic compounds, paratoluidine is basic compound, glucose, thiourea, M-dinitrobenzene, these are neutral in nature. In case of liquids, you have aniline, which is basic, acetone, ethyl acetate, chloroform, chlorobenzene, these are neutral in nature. So, this observation will be able to will be useful to differentiate between these two, either solid or liquid. Then second observation is color. Test is color. Observations are colorless. First is colorless or white. Whenever it is white, we say colorless. So, colorless compounds are benzoic acid, oxalic acid, cinnamic acid, glucose, thiourea. While reporting the inference, you have to write may be present. So, if colorless compound is there, then benzoic acid, oxalic acid, cinnamic acid, glucose or thiourea may be present. Okay. This is the style of reporting. Then if it is colorless liquid, then it will be acetone, ethyl acetate, chloroform, chlorobenzene, out of these. If it is pale yellow, then it will be M-dinitrobenzene, it is solid in nature. Yellow or brown liquid, it will be aniline, and brownish pink color, it is solid of course, it is beta-naphthol. Then next is odor. Odor is of these 3 types: pleasant and sweet odor. It will be acetone, ethyl acetate, chloroform, chlorobenzene. Then if it is fishy, fish like dirty odor, then it will be aniline or paratoluidine. So, these are the basic compounds. Then no particular odor, then it will be oxalic acid, benzoic acid, glucose, thiourea, cinnamic acid and M-dinitrobenzene. Now, next part is solubility test. It is very interesting. If your compound is water soluble, then and then take these tests. Your organic compound will be soluble or will be insoluble, both possibilities are there. Then you begin with the simple test: compound plus water. If it is soluble in water, if soluble, then try with blue litmus. If it turns red, it is indicating presence of acid. If it turns red litmus blue, then base present. and if it gives violet color with FeCl3, then phenol is present. So, turning blue litmus red, acid, turning red litmus blue, phenol, turning red litmus blue, base, and turning giving violet color to FeCl3 solution gives presence of phenol. So, this is only for water soluble compounds. If your compound is water soluble, then you have to try this. All compounds are not water soluble. For example, oxalic acid is water soluble, resorcinol is water soluble, some neutral compounds like glucose, it is water soluble. So, this test or this set of tests is convenient for only those compounds which are water soluble. Then rest of the compounds which are water insoluble are to be tested by this method. This is actually chemical process in which salt formation is there. Substance plus saturated NaCO3, if it is soluble with effervescence, first part is soluble, during the process effervescence are observed, and after complete dissolution if you add HCl and if you get again the same solid compound, then acid is present. See carefully, substance plus saturated sodium bicarbonate, it is soluble giving effervescence, and after solubility if you add HCl, then again solid reappears, then and then acid is present. When if acid is absent, then you try for phenol. What is the test for phenol? Substance plus dilute sodium hydroxide. Here it is only solubility, no effervescence, because it is not bicarbonate, it is sodium hydroxide. So, it is soluble, and after solubility if it is reprecipitated by concentrated HCl, then phenol is present. Reprecipitation means regeneration of the same compound. Okay. Third, if acid and phenol are absent, then you have to try for base. Substance plus dilute HCl. In this case, if it is soluble, then cool it and add 30% NaOH. If reprecipitation is there, then it is indicating presence of base. Actually, what is the chemical change? These substances are water insoluble. Acid, phenol, base, all are water insoluble. Then when you treat the substance with bicarbonate, it gets converted into sodium salt of acid, which is water soluble. When you treat substance with dilute NaOH, it gets converted into sodium salt of phenol, which is water soluble. When you treat substance with dilute HCl, and if it is soluble, then it forms hydrochloride salt of the base. So, the basis of all these transformations is formation of water soluble salts and regeneration by using the suitable reagent. So, if the compound result show A, B, C test, that means if these are negative, then the type of the compound will be neutral in nature. Okay. So, what is the principle I mentioned? This water insoluble organic compound is converted into water soluble salt and then it is separated, then it is detected. Okay. So, salt formation is the principle. See the reactions what are taking place, as I mentioned. If your compound is acid, after detecting the type, you are going to write the proper set of reactions below the type. If your compound is acid, then you should not try for phenol or base or neutral. So, acidic compound will have COOH group, carboxylic acid group. So, RCOOH or ArCOOH plus sodium bicarbonate. This acid is water insoluble, remember well. Acid is water insoluble. When it reacts with sodium bicarbonate, it gets converted into sodium salt of acid, which is water soluble. So, as we mentioned, soluble and reprecipitated. So, what is that reprecipitation? This sodium salt when treated with concentrated HCl again gives the same acid. You will find that you start with RCOOH, you end with RCOOH. Okay. This is reappeared acid. So, acid soluble in weak base, that is sodium bicarbonate, gives water soluble salt. Water soluble salt when treated with concentrated HCl gives the same acid again. So, these are the two reactions which are related to test for acid. See this first test for acid once again. Substance plus saturated NaCO3 soluble with effervescence and reprecipitated by HCl, acid is present. So, the reaction is this one. Then for phenols, your phenolic compound is aromatic with OH group. When you treat the phenolic compound with sodium hydroxide, it gets converted into sodium salt of phenol. Sodium salt of phenol, these are salts. Sodium salt of phenol is water soluble. And to sodium salt of phenol, when you add concentrated HCl, you get again reappeared phenol. So, phenolic compound soluble in NaOH and after addition of HCl, it is again reappearing, therefore phenol is present. Then for base you start with RNH2 or ARNH2. It is amino compound, basic compound. Amino compound reacts with acid and gives hydrochloride salt of the base. This is called as hydrochloride salt. This hydrochloride salt is again decomposed by sodium hydroxide to get again the original basic compound. So, these are the three reaction sets for acid, phenol and base. Okay. The test reactions are given once again in a single slide. Then in the preliminary test there is a test for unsaturation. You remember well, these tests are very important because these are consistently important for your higher studies also. These are the basic tests. Small amount of the substance plus 4 ml sodium carbonate plus very dilute, very dilute is very important because you work with very small amount. Dilute KMnO4 drop wise. In this case you get two observations. Of course, these are preliminary tests. The first observation is decolorization. Whenever there is disappearance of the color, then unsaturated compound is present. Whenever there is no decolorization, saturated compound is present. So, the slide explains that there is disappearance of color and there is no decolorization. So, whenever there is no decolorization, the compound is saturated. Whenever there is decolorization, the compound is unsaturated. Decolorization, unsaturated, no decolorization, saturated compound. So, this is called as a Bayer test. Okay. Similar test is with bromine water, aqueous or alcoholic solution. Alcoholic solution for those compounds which are water insoluble. Aqueous or alcoholic solution of the compound plus few drops of bromine water, shake well. Again same type of observations are there. Decolorization shows unsaturated compound, no decolorization shows saturated compound. Of course, there is third observation which is called as decolorization with precipitate. It indicates presence of amines and phenols. So, whenever you have alkene like compound which is unsaturated, this unsaturated compound undergoes addition reaction with bromine and alkene shows decolorization, alkanes do not show decolorization. Saturated compounds do not show decolorization, unsaturated compounds show decolorization. Okay. So, once again decolorization indicates unsaturated compounds, no decolorization indicates saturated compounds. Then to investigate the nature of the compound, whether it is aliphatic, aromatic or contains some other element, that is possible by heating with copper gauze test, copper foil test. This copper foil is small piece of copper foil is taken, it is heated until it is blue in color, that is oxidized copper gauze it is called as, and some amount of compound is placed on the oxidized copper gauze and it is ignited in the flame. So, three observations are there: sooty flame, non-sooty flame, green flame after initial sooty flame. So, sooty flame indicates directly it is aromatic compound, sooty flame indicates aromatic compound, non-sooty flame aliphatic compounds may be present, non-sooty flame aliphatic compounds, and green flame after initial sooty flame. You will get soot initially, but later on it will become green. So, compounds containing halogen or thiourea, urea may be present. So, that is the difference, sooty, non-sooty, green. So, this is a flame test. Then you determine the physical constant by using Thiel's tube, which we have considered in the beginning also. Then there is an important test which is called as Lassiegene's test or sodium fusion test. It is for detection of elements. An organic compound contains various elements, carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, etc., and some additional elements. So, for investigation of these there is a particular procedure called as sodium fusion test. What is the procedure? We will see. Take a dry piece of freshly cut sodium metal in a fusion tube. Handle sodium very carefully because it is highly reactive and inflammable. Okay. So, take a dry piece of freshly cut sodium metal in a fusion tube. Heat the tube gently to melt the sodium metal. First step is so as to melt the sodium metal. To the molten sodium, add to each small quantity of compound. Heat first slowly and then strongly until the tube becomes red hot. So, you begin with the sodium piece of sodium, allow it to melt, then add the compound, so that compound will react with the sodium. and heat the fusion tube first slowly then strongly and until it becomes red hot. When hot, drop it into 20 ml distilled water taken in an evaporating dish. Repeat the procedure with 2 more fusion tubes because you are going to concentrate the solution. Then boil the contents of the evaporating dish for 5 minutes. Filter the solution and use this filtrate for detection of elements. See carefully once again. The set of small tubes is called as sodium fusion tubes. Take sodium in the sodium fusion tube, melt it, add organic compound in it, heat slowly then strongly. When hot, drop in the distilled water containing evaporating dish. This procedure is to be carried out very carefully because sodium is highly reactive and inflammable. Okay, so it has explosive type nature. The demonstration you have to see carefully and then you have to carry on the procedure. So the test was suggested initially by Jean-Louis Lasiegine. This is the period. He was a French chemist and he is famous for the sodium fusion test. The test is known after him, after the name of this great scientist. The procedure is like this. Initially you heat the sodium metal, then add the compound to the sodium metal. When hot, you drop it in the fusion tube very carefully by covering the evaporating dish. Then you boil the actually you repeat with 2 more tubes. At least 3 fusion tubes are used for this purpose so as to get concentrated solution. The solution is boiled to concentrate, then it is filtered. This filtrate is called as Lasiegine's extract or sodium extract. Okay, sodium extract. This extract is used for test of different elements which are considered in the next slides. So this is the procedure: heating, then dropping, concentration, filtration. So you can see some video related to this experiment also. Then the extract is now used, or it is called as filtrate also. It is used for detection of nitrogen, sulfur and halogens. The tests are given in the slide. First test is test for nitrogen. Filtrate plus few crystals of FeSO4. See carefully. Ferrous sulfate crystals are taken. Then the mixture is heated gently. 1 drop of sodium hydroxide, boil it carefully, cool it, add 2-3 drops of neutral FeCl3 solution dropwise and add HCl. So green coloration or green precipitate. Okay. See the set of reactions again. You begin with the filtrate, add FeSO4, add NaOH. The sequence has to be monitored carefully, has to be considered positively. Filtrate, FeSO4, then sodium hydroxide, boil, cool, then add FeCl3 and then acidify. So green coloration or green precipitate or blue colorations or blue precipitate is obtained. It indicates presence of nitrogen. Then there is another element, sulfur. Takes certain amount of small amount of filtrate, add acetic acid and lead acetate, we get black precipitate, then sulfur is present. No black precipitate, sulfur is absent. So black precipitate, then it is for presence of sulfur. Then there is another test for sulfur, filtrate plus few drops of sodium nitroprusside, purple color sulfur present. So these two tests indicate presence of sulfur. So this is related to second element. Then for third possibilities of halogens. So filtrate, that is that sodium extract, filtrate plus HNO3 gives white or yellow precipitate. So it indicates presence of halogen. When halogens are present, you have to differentiate. Then takes some amount of filtrate plus chloroform plus chlorine water, shake well. Chloroform layer colorless, then chlorine, chloroform layer brown, bromine, chloroform layer violet, it is indicating presence of iodine. So you are going to test for nitrogen, sulfur and halogen, and this is the difference for halogen test. The given result will be the given compounds contains dash elements. So carbon, hydrogen, and there is a consideration that oxygen is there or it is generated in the process. So CHO elements are the essential elements. Additionally, the element which is present in above test is to be reported. So given compound contains CHO elements or CHON elements, CHONS elements, CHO halogen element, etc. You are going to report. So actually let us see what are the chemical reactions involved in the process. For nitrogen, sodium reacts with carbon and nitrogen in the organic compound. The first test for nitrogen. So see this first test. Okay, filtrate plus FeSO4 plus NaOH plus FeCl3 plus HCl. This series is explained in the reaction. Nitrogen plus carbon plus nitrogen, sodium plus carbon plus nitrogen gives NaCN. This NaCN has to be formed in the beginning during the process of sodium fusion test. Then this sodium cyanide reacts with FeSO4, that is the first ingredient which we add, we get FeCN2. FeCN2 reacts with excess NaCN, it gives Na4FeCN6, and thrice Na4FeCN6 plus FeCl3 in acidic medium gives this ferric ferrocyanide, which is Prussian blue in color. So actually during the process of detection of elements, if first reaction is not possible, not taking place, then rest of the reactions will not be there. So if nitrogen is present, then you will get this product. If nitrogen is not there, then this reaction will not be possible, and therefore no product is formed. Okay. Then for sulfur, sodium plus sulfur gives sodium sulphide. Sodium sulphide reacts with this sodium nitroprusside, forming purple color complex, that is the test with sodium nitroprusside. Then test with lead acetate, acetic acid is this one, lead sulphide is formed, which is black in color. This complex with sodium nitroprusside has a purple color. With sodium halide and AgNO3 we get silver halide AgX, and this can be differentiated by using chloroform and chlorine water. So these are the tests which we carry on, and these are the reactions. So after getting proper element, you are going to report the reaction. Then the next part is determination of functional group. Once you know the chemical type, the elements, you are going to differentiate between the acids. So consider these acids. So for acids, the possibilities are benzoic acid, cinnamic acid, oxalic acid. Remember well that oxalic acid is water soluble. Oxalic acid is water soluble. Whenever you start with the preliminary test and you get blue litmus turning red with aqueous solution, then definitely it is oxalic acid. So let us consider the test. So substance plus saturated sodium bicarbonate soluble with effervescence, this is indication of COOH group, presence of carboxylic acid group. Carboxylic acid group is present in all these carboxylic acids. Okay. So first test is positive for all acids. Then you are going to differentiate between these three which are in our syllabus. Neutral solution of the given acid plus FeCl3 gives two colors. One is buff or flesh color, it is for benzoic acid. Yellow color, it is for cinnamic acid. Okay. Then neutral solution of given acid plus CaCl2 solution, white precipitate, insoluble in dilute acetic acid but soluble in dilute HCl, then it is related to oxalic acid. In this way, by considering these two tests, you are going to differentiate between benzoic acid, cinnamic acid and oxalic acid. As I mentioned, these earlier two acids are water insoluble, sparingly soluble of course, but your observation will be water insoluble. Oxalic acid will be highly water soluble. Then for these two tests, you need neutral solution. So how to prepare neutral solution? The procedure is given. Neutral solution is prepared by treating acid with some base. So you have to use that base which when excess can be given away, has to be expelled away. So therefore, dissolve small amount of given acid in dilute NH4OH, ammonium hydroxide. So when it reacts with ammonium hydroxide, excess of ammonium hydroxide can be boiled off very easily, and you will get properly neutral solution. Remove excess of NH4OH by boiling. The resultant solution is neutral in nature. Okay. So these are the reactions taking place. This is the first reaction. Any carboxylic acid reacts with sodium bicarbonate, giving sodium salt of the acid, and effervescence are observed. Okay. Then during the neutral solution formation, acid reacts with ammonium hydroxide, forms ammonium salt of the acid. RCONH4 is ammonium salt of the acid. So we see the second reaction, and when this ammonium salt of acid reacts with calcium chloride, you get this precipitate, which is observed carefully and reported. Then what are the possible acids? This is benzoic acid. In pure form it appears like this. This is the structure. Buff color is like this. Then this is cinnamic acid. The difference is benzoic acid is aromatic acid. it will not show more decolorization or unsaturation, it will show sooty flame. Okay. This will show sooty flame. Additionally, it will show positive test for bromine and KMnO4 because it has unsaturation. Because it has unsaturation, it will be showing sooty flame as well as positive test for Br2 water and KMnO4. This is unsaturated carboxylic acid. Okay. Second test. Third is oxalic acid. It has water of crystallization. Of course, it is not mentioned. Oxalic acid, it is water soluble. The acid which is water soluble shows blue litmus, converts blue litmus red, turns blue litmus red, then it is oxalic acid. Oxalic acid is water soluble. Remember well, oxalic acid is the primary standard. It is a dicarboxylic acid. 2 COH groups are there. So, it is water soluble acid, and that is why it is important in organic analysis. Okay. Then let us come to phenols. Second type of organic compounds are phenols. For our syllabus only 2 phenols are there, resorcinol and beta-naphtha. Remember well, resorcinol is water soluble phenol. Listen carefully, resorcinol is water soluble phenol, and if it is water soluble, then it shows FeCl3 test positive, which we considered in the beginning. So, let us see the test. Aqueous or alcoholic solution of phenol plus few drops of neutral FeCl3, violet color resorcinol present. Second observation, green color immediately changing to white, it is indicating presence of beta-naphthol. Resorcinol can be confirmed in the beginning itself because it is water soluble. Okay. If it is water insoluble, then you can have this test. Alcoholic solution, because when compound is water insoluble, then you can use alcoholic solution. Of course, this beta-naphthol is sparingly soluble, but cannot be dissolved carefully. So, the color of these complexes, violet color or green color changing to white precipitate, is this reaction. So, your aromatic compound, that is phenol, will react with FeCl3 giving this violet complex. Then this is the resorcinol, water soluble. It is a dihydroxy, it is having 2 H groups. Okay. And this is beta-naphthol, it is a bicyclic compound, 2 rings are there. There is only 1 ring, 2 H groups. Here there are 2 rings and 1 OH group. So, beta-naphthol is there, and resorcinol is water soluble phenol. Then for basic compounds, in basic compounds you must get positive nitrogen, CHON elements. Then for our syllabus there are only 2 compounds, one is aniline, other is paratoluidine. Aniline is liquid, paratoluidine is solid. So, remember, if your compound is base and in place of reprecipitation you will get reappearance of this basic compound, layers will be separated. Whenever it is soluble, 2 layers get mixed, and in the process of reprecipitation there is a separate layer formation after addition of the reagent. Okay. Paratoluidine is a basic compound which has low melting point, so cannot be easily reprecipitated. So, what is the test? Substance plus 2 ml 1:1 HCl plus NaNO2 solution, pour in beta-naphthalene NaOH. Remember well that you have to pour the drops of the first test tube in the second test tube containing beta-naphthalene NaOH. So, we get orange red dye. It indicates presence of NH2 group. If it is liquid, then it is aniline, if it is solid, then it is paratoluidine. So, this is the general reaction. First reaction is called as diazotization. You convert NH2 group into N2Cl group, and second reaction is called as coupling reaction, in which this sodium salt of the compound, sodium salt of phenol couples with this diazonium compound, giving a complex which is called as orange red dye. So, it is observed for amino compounds. So, this test is for differentiating between for investigation of basic compound, we can differentiate by considering the physical type also. Orange red dye liquid compound aniline, orange red dye solid compound, it is paratoluidine. Then this is a orange red dye. Then for CHO elements, neutral compounds, the most simple compound is ketone. This gives compound plus 4 drops of sodium nitroprusside, gives red color, then it is ketonic group. Ketonic group is acetone. Okay. This is the reaction which is possible in this case. This is the structure of ketone. So, I in the beginning I mentioned that acetone is water soluble compound and neutral to everything, neutral to red litmus, neutral to blue litmus, neutral to FeCl3. If your compound is water soluble and if it is neutral to litmus and FeCl3, then it is acetone. So, you should not try for solubility test. Next, ester. Next liquid is ester. Ester is water insoluble, but you have to prepare aqueous solution and add NaOH. Complete this process. Substance plus water plus 1 drop of phenolphthalein plus very dilute NaOH. Pink color is developed. After boiling, the pink color disappears. Means this reaction is taking place. Your ester is there. It reacts with sodium hydroxide, gets converted into acid and alcohol. Whenever ester is converted into acid and alcohol, the amount of NaOH is consumed. As NaOH disappears, there is a color change. So, pink color which is generated by presence of NaOH is given away, it disappears because of consumption of NaOH, means it is indication of hydrolysis of ester giving sodium salt of that particular acid and alcohol. So, COH group present. Next is for carbohydrates, glucose. It contains CHO group. Substance plus failing solution A and B, these are available in the lab. Red precipitate CHO present. Substance plus Tollens reagent boil gives silver mirror. It indicates again CHO group is present, that is glucose. Glucose is a polyhydroxyaldehyde. Okay, so it has CHO group. Therefore, these tests are for aldehydic group. Then how to prepare Tollens reagent? The procedure is given. AgNO3 plus few drops of NaOH, precipitate will be formed, dissolve it in NH4OH to get the clear solution to get Tollens reagent. So, these are the tests which are observed for glucose, okay, and Tollens reagent. Carbohydrate failing solution gives red precipitate, carbohydrate Tollens reagent gives silver mirror. So, if your compound shows these tests, then it will be carbohydrate. Then for CHON elements, neutral compound. So, there are 2-3 possibilities. Substance plus 2 ml alcohol plus few drops of CaCl2, pinch of zinc dust, boil for few minutes and filter into Tollens reagent. Black or grey PPT, if it is there, then NO2 group is there. NO2 group containing compound is M-dinitrobenzene. It is solid in nature, has nitrogen and has pale brown color. So, if your compound is solid and contains nitro group, nitrogen, nitro group, then it is M-dinitrobenzene. If it is liquid, then it is nitrobenzene. So, the same test is there. The reactions are also given in the chart. Okay. Then CHONS element. So, this is for thiourea. If your compound is solid and water soluble and neutral to litmus and FeCl3, then definitely it is thiourea. Heat the compound till it melts, cool it, add water and aqueous FeCl3, red color, then it indicates presence of thiourea. The reactions for nitro group are given, the reactions for thiourea are also given. So, thiourea is water soluble compound giving which is neutral to litmus and that way neutral to FeCl3. It does not show highlight color like phenol, but instead it gives red color with FeCl3. It indicates presence of thiourea group. Then the last set is neutral with CHOCl elements. Halogen is chlorine in this case. So, you carry on this test, substance plus 4 ml KOH, boil. You can use NaOH also. 4 ml KOH, boil gently, cool, dilute HNO3 plus AgNO3 solution, precipitate or no precipitate, you get chloroform and chlorobenzene. Chlorobenzene is aromatic, chloroform is aliphatic compound. Both are halogenated, both will show green color in copper foil test. Okay. So, after considering all these tests, you write this consultation. The given compound is acid, phenol, base, neutral, having elements so and so, physical constant, then elements, functional group, and therefore in consultation with literature the compound is found to be so and so, which is confirmed by special test. List of special tests is given at the end of the chart. So, you report the result. So, this is the list of the compounds. Let us go through it. Benzoic acid, see carefully. Benzoic acid is aromatic carboxylic acid. Will show sooty flame due to aromatic nature. Will not show decolorization. This will show cinnamic acid will show sooty flame, will show decolorization. This is no decolorization, water soluble. Oxalic acid is water soluble, no decolorization, non sooty flame. In case of resorcinol, which is water soluble, resorcinol is water soluble phenol, will show FeCl3 violet color with FeCl3, the melting point is 108. For beta naphthol, the melting point is 122 and it is aromatic in nature. Then it will show decolorization with precipitate. The soluble portion will get converted into precipitate. So, beta naphthol. Then for aniline, this is liquid base, aniline is liquid base. Then sooty flame. Para-toluidine is solid base, no easy reprecipitation because the melting point is very low. Okay. Then for acetone, which is water soluble, M-dinitrobenzene is a solid neutral compound with nitrogen. Then thiourea, water soluble compound with sulfur. Chloroform contains halogen, chloroform, and similarly chlorobenzene is there. So, in this way you can differentiate between these compounds and you can follow the procedure to investigate the organic compound, which is called as organic spotting. Again you will get some sample articles or sample written formats on your group. So, you will go through these and listen to this video once again whenever you require and prepare the same as per the directions given to you. Thank you.